So the kind of thing that transfers, okay, when rubbing the rule on the cloth, suppose you rubbing this on a cloth, okay, so there is a very slightly polarization in both, okay. That polarization is basically the transfer of a charge, okay. What you could say, polarization could be said as transfer. Suppose here it is plus, okay, and suppose it is a minus, okay. So polarization could be said as what? Transfer of the charge. Of the charge, okay. Okay, that is polarization. And after the polarization, like how many, if we from here, if we say that how many types of charge was found, only
Positive.
two types, okay, the positive and the negative. This is called positive charge,
Okay.
and this is negative, okay.
Okay.
And we represent it by q, okay. Q is just a variable for the charge, okay. This is we'll use, so either positive or negative, okay. If we have a positive charge, suppose, then what kind of force will be? There will be some force, suppose, okay. Since the charges come together, there is some force, okay. That is called what? Electric force, okay. If the plus is coming, then that's repulsion, okay. And if there is a plus and minus, then what kind of force between them is
That's attraction.
attraction, okay. Okay, so this is what? This is an electric force. Getting my point?
Yeah, I got it.
So how many types of charges? Two.
That's two
Okay,
types of charge.
two types of charges that could be positive and negative. Okay, if the positive are together, if the like charges, okay, don't just call it positive. It can be said as minus as well. Okay, so like charges. This is like charges.
Okay.
Okay, if they come together, okay, it means they will repel. And if the opposite charges meet, then they cause attraction. So since, as you have seen in that video, that the comb was basically attracting what? Attracting the pieces of paper,
Paper.
right? The comb was attracting basically the pieces of paper. So if it was attracting, it means what kind of force? There is someone is having positive and someone is having what? Negative, right? If it is having positive, so the pieces of paper must having negative charge, okay. So that's why
Okay.
there was attraction, okay. If there is a repulsion, it means there are similar charges or like charges, okay. Getting my point?
Yeah.
Okay. Now there are some properties about the charge. The properties will be uh, properties. Okay, so the charges will be, okay, it is of two types. First is it is of two types. Two types that exist in nature. Okay.
Okay.
The types are positive. Okay, instead of writing positive, what I will use? I will use plus V. Okay, means V, that's writing just the polarity. Okay, polarity means what? Polarity is a type or kind of the charge. Okay, and minus
Okay.
V. Okay, minus V means negative charge. Okay, okay, that is the first property. Second property, it will exist only in integer values. Okay, it will exist in integer values.
Okay.
Integer values and not fractional. Okay, fractional. Okay, let me give an example after writing this. Fractional. Okay, what do I mean by fractional? The charge can be exist plus 1. Okay, okay, plus 1.
Okay.
Q is equal to plus 1. Okay, or Q is equal to minus 1. The charge is minus 1. Q cannot be 1 plus 1 by 2 or minus 1 by 2. Okay, it's never
Okay.
possible. Okay, the charges will always be what? In the integer values. Either it is plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, anything. Plus 1, minus 1, it could be anything in the terms of integer values, but never fractional. Okay,
Okay.
okay, never fractional. That is charge always exist in integer values. Okay, but anyways, in the later classes, when you go to higher classes, you will study particle physics. There is a possibility that there you will get uh, the fractional charges, and of those quantities are called, those particles are called quarks basically. But for now, for your class, that you should just study that charge always exist in what? Integer values. Okay, never fractional. Getting my point?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, the total amount of charge in any material, in any object or material, could be written in terms of electronic charge. Okay, in terms of electron charge. Now I'll explain this last line. Electronic charge means the charge of an electron. Okay, electronic, if I say electronic charge, means charge of an electron. Have you heard this name? What is electron?
Yeah. It's like the thing on the outermost of an atom.
Okay, yes, great. Okay, so
It,
before I come to that charge of an electron, suppose I will explain that what happens that there is some in an atom, what happens, like every material in our nature, it made of what entities? Very smallest entities called atom. Okay,
okay.
okay, these smallest entities are called atoms. So every material is made up of the atoms. Okay, so just I will just explain atom. So atom has a nucleus. Okay, first it has a nucleus, right, which is what? Which is of the polarity was positive. Okay, suppose this is nucleus, and it has a polarity positive, and around the positive nucleus there are electrons. Those are revolving what? Revolving in its orbits. Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay, these are orbits. So electrons somewhere here. Okay, somewhere here in this it is already there here. Okay, an electron has what polarity? Minus charge. Okay, these are the orbits of the electrons. Okay, so they are revolving around the positive nucleus. Okay,
Okay.
nucleus is made up of, if I'll explain, nucleus is made up of what? Protons. There are two particles, protons plus neutrons. Okay, and we represent them by P and N. Okay, protons and neutrons. And the electrons are basically what? Electrons are basically revolving in the orbits, in the outer orbits. Okay, okay, if not the outermost, you don't say outermost, even the in the innermost orbital electrons are there. Okay, okay, this is nucleus. I will call it nucleus. And electrons, these are in the orbits. Okay, so why they have revolving around around an atom? Just because they have what polarity? They have negative polarity and they have positive polarity. So there is an attraction, there is an electric force between them, which is called Coulombic attraction. Okay, so there is some attraction, that's what keep them in the orbits. Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay, that's what keep them in the orbits. So that's why they are revolving around the nucleus. Okay, okay,
Okay.
so the charge of, so there are two kinds of there are three kinds of particles. How? First I will write electron. Electron is always written as minus. Okay, here, because it has a
Okay.
minus charge. Okay, it is a Q is equal to -1. Then you proton, and then you have neutron. Okay, these are three kind of fundamental particles, you should say. Since you are not in a higher classes, you should say that these are the fundamental particles we have in an atom. Okay, but proton and neutron, they are made up of something else. They are made up of quarks, I was talking about, which have a fractional charge. Okay, so don't go in them, they are not the fundamental particles, but electron is a fundamental particle. Okay, electron is a fundamental particle. So that now I will if I write the charge, okay, so q will be what? -1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, since it has a minus charge, and the charge of positive proton, it's what? +1. Okay, what is the charge of neutron? 0.
Neutron is nothing. It's
Nothing,
neutral.
it's neutral. Okay, so it has a 0 charge. Okay, so now we were talking about this term, that what says the total amount of charge in any object material could be written in terms of electronic charge. So it means electronic charge what? E. Okay, E. Charge of
Okay.
an electron, it could be written like this as well, -E. Okay, it could be written like this. So now we have charge. Suppose if I represent the charge Q, okay, okay, so it can be written as what? In terms of electronic charge. So okay, suppose here I write, instead of writing this, can I write Q is equal to -E, and for the proton I write Q is equal to +E, and instead of neutron I write Q is equal to 0E or 0. Okay, getting my point?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this is the third line. All the charges will be written in terms of what? In terms of electronic charge. And why I am saying in terms of electron? Because proton has the charge value similar to the electron, but the polarity is changing. So that's why they are writing in the terms of, okay, okay, let me give you the value. Okay, so -E has a value what? 1.6 into 10 to power 19 coulomb. Okay, what is the unit? Unit of charge. Unit of charge, that is what? Coulomb. Okay, 1 coulomb Okay, that's what I'm writing here. Getting
Okay.
my point? That is the unit
Yeah.
of charge. Okay, so minus E or E minus, it has a value 1.6 minus 1.6 into 10 to power 19, 10 to power minus 19 coulomb. Okay, for the positive charge, 1.6 of positive into 10 to power minus 19 coulomb. Okay, so
Okay.
this is for electron, and this is for what? Proton. Okay,
Okay.
so it was found that proton has the same charge as electron, but the polarity is changed. Polarity is positive, and for the electron it's negative. Okay, they have the same equal value. You could say the magnitude is same, polarity is different. Okay, and neutron has zero charge. So in an atom, only three types of things. Okay, electron, proton, and neutron. Okay, neutron has zero charge. And in every nature, in nature, every material is made up of atom. So only the particles you are going to see is electrons and protons and neutrons. So can you write in the terms of E? Like, suppose if I say that particular object has some charge. Suppose what suppose it has two electrons. Okay, if there are two atoms, suppose there are two atoms. Okay, and if there are two atoms in it, so how can I write the charge? Okay, in one atom there are two electrons. Suppose two electrons in this atom and two electrons in this atom. How I will write the charge? It will be, since it is 4 electrons total, right?
Yeah.
So if
So
so minus 4e, can I write that?
yes.
And how many protons will be there? Suppose if it is one proton only. Okay, one proton I'm saying, and one
Then
proton.
it'll be the same amount of electrons.
So it will be 2 positive 2e. Okay, so now this is the meaning. Okay, so all the atoms in all those in materials, all those atoms and all those the charges, electrons and the negative charges and the positive charges can be written in the terms of E. Okay, if you are using
Okay.
positive E, it means you are representing the positive charge, and if you are representing minus 4e, if you are writing minus 4e, then that's negative charge. Okay, okay, that's
Okay.
of the electron. This is the way you represent. So this is the third line. Any charge, the total amount of charge in any object or material could be written in terms of electronic charge. Okay, okay, or
Okay.
or you can write E. Okay, so now let me just modify this line. Could be written in terms of magnitude. Okay, magnitude of electronic charge. Okay, magnitude of electronic charge. Okay, magnitude of electronic charge is what? E. Okay, that's E. Okay, now I have this formula. Okay, the formula is total charge Q total will be equal to what? Number and E. Okay, this is the formula. Q is equal to NE.
Okay.
Okay, this is what? This is N is number of entities. Okay, number of entities. If I'm saying you have suppose you have 10 of electrons, the question is, if I say that you have 10 electrons, 10 electrons. Okay, so what will be the total charge? Q total will be N is 10, N
Then
is
E.
10, right? And
Yeah.
what is that what is the one charge of electron? E is charge. E represents charge. Is it minus or plus?
It'll be minus since
Minus.
electron is plus.
Exactly. So it's minus 10 electron. That is the charge Q total on the 10 electrons. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, that is. If I say second question, if I give you the total charge is equal to, suppose the total charge I'm giving you 100 of minus 100 E. That's what I'm giving you. Okay, now I say what will be what will be the value of number. Okay, how many electrons are there or protons are there. Okay, we don't know. Okay, I just told you that this is the value of Q. Okay, the total charge. So if you use that formula, Q is equal to Ne. Okay, Q is minus 100 E. Okay, so can we see that since it is minus, it means this much are electrons, right?
Yeah.
So minus E will be what become? E will become minus. So E and minus minus will cut down. So N is what? 100 electrons. 100 electrons, right?
Yeah.
This is the N we are getting. Okay, so it could be plus E or it could be minus E, right? Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, after that, if I give you one more example, suppose you have a total charge of plus 4.8 into 10 to power minus 19 coulomb. Okay, if I give you that, and then I ask you what is the number of these entities. Okay, what kind and number, how will you calculate?
Okay. Yeah, okay, so they've given you the N value.
Yes, nahi, they have given me the charge value, now they are asking for the N value. How will you calculate?
Um,
Okay, no problem. You use
yeah,
Q is equal to Ne. Okay,
okay.
and now you have to calculate N, so it will be Q over E.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was thinking about it, but I forgot that E is a constant 2.8. Okay.
Yes, exactly. What is the constant value of the E?
Yeah, it's like 2.87 or something.
No,
81.
no, not that E. That's not E. That's something exponential. That's not a E here. E is here charge. Okay, that is different. So
Oh, wait, is it
what is the
a
constant value for E?
1.6 times 10 to the power of minus
Exactly.
19?
That's not.
Okay.
This is constant value of E
Okay.
here. Okay. If it's
Yeah.
positive, then it's of protons, and if it's negative, then it's of electrons. Okay.
Yeah,
Not that
okay.
E. Not that constant. Okay. So that is in maths, that's exponential. Okay, that's exponential constant. But here it's the charge. Okay, it represents the charge. Okay, so you write 4.8 into 10 to power 9. What is 1e? 1e is equal to 1.6 into 10 to power minus 19 coulomb. Okay, so if you write that, it's coulomb, and 1.6 into 10 to power minus 19 coulomb. Since it is having positive charge, so you will use positive. Okay, so what is it? Is what? 3 times, right? 3 times it will go. Okay, so you are getting
Okay.
what? N is equal to plus 3, right? N is equal to plus 3 means what? 3 protons or electrons?
That's
3 protons,
like,
obviously, because they are having positive charge, right?
yeah.
Okay, like since the number is not having any value, okay, here number should, if it is a positive charge and you are using positive charge, it means what? 3 protons that was having, those were having the positive charge. Okay, it means these are 3 protons. Okay,
Okay.
okay, getting my point? With the charge plus 1 plus plus, so it's 3e. Okay, you could see, this is then what? 3e. Okay,
Okay.
getting my point?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is about the charge. Okay, we were discussing about the kind of force. Okay, in this here we were discussing about the force. Okay, what kind of force? Okay, so in an atom, when the atom